Good evening. Welcome on into the evening edition of From Day One. Now, just to recap what happened from the afternoon, just checked ahead while we were gone. The guy basically does acquiesce, so to speak, gives all the information, gets cited, and all that good stuff. So it really wasn't enjoyable. So we're moving on to. We're going to go into the courtroom with Father Skeptic for this evening session. And we have a subset not using it for traveling or anything else, but trying to be a beyond the world's worst deadbeat father. Team Skeptic.
Believe you're entitled to 10 minutes of oral argument. If you wouldn't mind putting your name on the record, please.
I'm the executor and sole beneficiary of the trust and estate of Mr. Kevin Dwayne Craft, the legal persona.
Well, Mr. Estate of Mr. Kevin Dwayne Craft, the legal persona, what level of stupidity will you be taking us to today? Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have a sovereign citizen who's done the unthinkable and taken his case all the way up to the Michigan Court of Appeals. Not because of his right to travel or any normal sovereign citizen argument, but for his right to be a deadbeat dad and how the state has no jurisdiction to make him take responsibility for his kids. So let's begin.
I'm not here making a general appearance. I'm here by special divine appearance, judge, to settle a matter, to call for a constitutional court of record to ask for a summary judgment upon the truth and facts that I placed upon the record with my documents. I stand firmly on my rights, and I'm here to ask for the summary judgment, please.
You've asked for.
I do also have a few questions.
I understand you're pro se, and then therefore you get a little bit of leeway. But typically, the judges don't answer questions. We're the ones who ask questions. This isn't like a trial court where it's a very kind of back and forth. The Court of Appeals is more structured in terms of the lawyers or parties come up, they make their arguments. The judges may or may not have questions for the person, and then it's submitted, and then we go back and discuss the matter. And then at some point in the future, we come out with an opinion. So it is different in that respect than trial court.
Understood.
I doubt it.
But I am wondering if this is a court of constitution, and would the Constitution be applied in these proceedings?
The Court of Appeals, the Michigan Court of Appeals, is provided for under the state Constitution of 1963.
Is that a yes?
That's the answer I'm giving you.
Good answer, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, it's yes, but I can't believe you.
I'm asking to verify to make sure these proceedings are legitimate. The Constitution has two jurisdictions: common law, admiralty law, or maritime tribunal. And I'm asking in which context would this court try to enforce jurisdiction on me?
Hold on. You're the one that brought this case to the Michigan Court of Appeals. Are you really now arguing whether they have jurisdiction or not? And to answer your question, the context, as you put it, by which the court has jurisdiction over you is both personal and statutory, and written into both the United States Constitution and the Michigan State Constitution.
We're acting under the state constitution of Michigan of 1963.
Moving forward, I'm here to pretty much address the court's error for ignoring my motions. Notice of dismissal, default judgment under Federal Rule 55 was filed December 12, 2022. Under Federal Rule 55, if a party fails to respond to the defendants themselves, and this is confirmed by my affidavits, and other means, the clerk must officially record a default judgment of that party. I filed several motions and they were ignored. That's why I'm here. In Haynes versus Kennar, 404 U.S. 519, 1972, courts must be understanding and not easily reject motions from people just representing themselves. And that's what took place in this matter.
But is it though? In Haynes v. Kerner, the courts found that a defendant's claims of civil rights violations can't just be dismissed without giving the defendant an opportunity to provide proof of the allegations. I mean, I'm sure that you probably filed a bunch of frivolous motions, and I'm sure they probably were all denied. And in your deluded state of blissful paint consumption, you somehow equated your situation to an actual civil rights violation.
Of course.
In Article 1, Section 17 of the Michigan Constitution prevents courts from ignoring motions and guarantees that people have a fair chance to represent themselves in any argument and evidence. That did not happen. That's why we're here. The state ordered me to take a paternity test. And Monell versus Department of Social Services, which is a New York State case. The Supreme Court case established that municipalities' liability under the section 1983 for constitutional violations in the context of child support cases, where the appellant argues that a warrant should be required for me obtaining genetic and biological material. I think it's very sensitive when a state injects an order asking me to give genetic and biological material without a warrant. That's really sensitive material. It's not like a document or anything. That's personal biological material. That's why those specimens were not granted. That's why I denied any consent of any contract with the state or Title 4D agency to give away my biological and genetic material.
Oh, so that's what this is all about. You don't want to take care of your kids and pay them child support, so you went full South City it.
That the case Monell is relevant because it underscores the importance to ensure that government agencies like the friend of the court on this context, these are for-profit agencies disguised as government agencies like the friend of the court, adhere to constitutional standards where collecting evidence potentially implying the need of procedure safeguards to protect individuals' Fourth Amendment. That's why I asked, with this a constitutional court. The asking for genetic material is protected by my Fourth Amendment right.
Asking, not axing.
The Fourth Amendment protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures and safeguards one's privacy and assurance that any such search is conducted within the boundaries of legal requirements.
Well, there's your first problem. Michigan Compiled Laws, Act 205, otherwise known as the Parenting Act, codifies the legality of the state to procure your DNA in cases like these, the methods by which your DNA would be retrieved, and the punishments for failure to participate.
I see that they're not here today, and that's some questions that are raised, and those were my concerns.
That would be a rise.
On August 11, 2022, the Kent County ordered an appointment for me for genetic and biological testing. In a testing laboratory, DNA Diagnosis Center is a business, and I can prove it's a business because I have their Dun and Bradstreet numbers. 877-184-226 for the record. They also said, when I thought this was funny, the state of Michigan stated that it would pay the cost of the genetic test. And if I wasn't excluded, that I would be responsible for that cost. And with that being said, that set alarms.
Let me guess, you had the oh shit alarm go off. Like, oh shit, it's about to cost me more money and they're still gonna find out that I am indeed the father.
The state of Michigan is also a business. And with them
fronting
the cost for me, that presented an alarm for me because I don't choose the contract with the state of Michigan. I don't choose to do business with them in this regard with another business. It seems like a coercion of some sort for them to upfront the cost if I was going to be responsible. I do not consent to that business arrangement. The state, they failed to show a promissory note of a contract of any sort. I submitted documents, notice to the court to demand dismissal for lack of jurisdiction, demanded to see an open court evidence of personal and subject matter jurisdiction, and notice of court to refusing to appear voluntary. And I do not accept the offer to contract, and I do not consent to these proceedings. That affidavit or notice to motion was submitted on November 28th, 2022. So again, I'm just bringing up the point that I submitted numerous of documents asking for clear evidence or asking for due process, also asking for quite frankly, to be transparent with what's happening. And I believe I deserve the right to see in writing what gives them the authority and what contract am I entering. I want full disclosure.
Asked and answered, MCL 205 gives full transparency over the legality and procedures for which paternity testing should be administered.
In Burns 322 BR 719, a creditor must provide proper documentation such as a promissory note, contract to substantiate a debt or court claim. They did not. More documents I filed. Affidavit inserting corporate nature of government entities. I submitted that document because I'm concerned that these are for-profit businesses disguised as government agencies. You know, I have proof. Kent County Court, Dun and Bradstreet number for the record, 152906082. Kent County Friend of the Court, Dun and Bradstreet number, 6088333133. State of Michigan, Dun and Bradstreet number, 504698428. These are businesses.
You're a fucking moron.
I would like to state for the record that I am not a corporation.
Yeah, no fucking
Oh,
shit, you're not a
shit.
corporation. You know, I'm about to give this guy the stupid, dumb shit information that I didn't need to know of the day award.
I'm a living,
I'll second
breathing
that.
person, human being. With these being businesses, they have to abide by the same rules as other businesses. And may I give an example? For example, McDonald's. McDonald's can't force me to eat their Big Macs. They need my consent. None of these businesses that I've mentioned have my consent to do business with them.
Your Honor, can we just tase him?
Section 458 of the Social Security Act, incentive payments to state. It's a conflict of interest. And it's my argument right here, right now, that the state incentivizes them it incentivizes them to collect more child support.
What the fuck do you think happens when you give child support to the state? It goes to the guardian, dumbass. The state's not a debt collector that buys mothers' debts off them for pennies on the dollar. They're more like a mediator that makes sure that pieces of shit like you pay your fucking child support.
The main argument I have here, and for you guys,
You're a moron?
is full disclosure. You know, it seems like they enter me in a contract without my consent, without full disclosure, and that's the problem here. You know, I'm here to argue subject matter and lack of jurisdiction. No evidence was established in my involvement of a common law crime or damages, and I did not commit any common law crime. Notice of court to refusing to appear voluntary, and I do not accept these contracts, and I do not consent to these proceedings was another motion or notice to motion that I submitted 11/28/22, and it's basically it's evidence is they didn't provide any evidence of an injury or injured party, and
Mr. Kraft, you're out of time.
Thank you.
We understand that you raise issues of disclosure,
yes,
jurisdiction, remedy, and as I indicated, your brief, as with all the appellants and appellees we have here today, the briefs that you submit are kind of the key issue or the key tool that we use to resolve cases. And so I just want you to know, we have your brief. We're going to go back. We've had research attorneys look at it. We're going to look at it again. We're going to discuss the case.
They had fun
and
laughing.
then you'll get an opinion from us sometime within the next few weeks.
if I may, one last thing.
You've got, if you can do it in 20 seconds.
I can. The government must prove charges beyond a reasonable doubt with clear evidence, especially when making the claims against someone. And I'm asking you guys right here, right now, they did not provide any evidence against me. And I would ask you to dismiss this without prejudice.
I'm going to assume
You
that
mean
both
what
the
president?
long and short answers are going to be the same.
Oh, hell no.
No. All right, so that's the end of the video. Like the judge said, there'll be a decision made in a couple of weeks, and as long as it's public information, you know I'm going to be there to report the sovereign citizen's loss. So if you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe.
And I thank you very much for that, Father Skeptic. Since we do have a few moments, let's go back and pick up the rest of Van Bellion's nice handle.
These are our streets. Now, why would the people tax themselves for what we have paid for? We would never do that. Just like personal property tax.
Just like this road. Look how smooth it is. You know they just laid out.
I understand that, but
you know how that happened?
it is not. Yeah. So revenue. So
Exactly.
well,
Exactly.
that's bad. Whenever you guys put your
help pay for
oath.
revenue, you have to have license because that's where you get you also get money from the license.
Well, sir, the Supreme Court has ruled that you don't have to.
Well, that's not up to
The Supreme Court has ruled. I have already discovered it.
All right. Well, I'm sorry that you discovered whatever. And
Whatever.
Yeah.
I discovered truth. I go after truth. I love truth.
So
You cannot handle the truth. If you could, you would read those Supreme Court cases in their entirety and not just the cherry-picked quotes. And this sovereign citizen nonsense would be something you see as entertainment.
So what he's going to do is if he's going to cite you for this because
Well, he's got officer discretion, correct?
we're in Missouri. We obey the laws of Missouri. We're in the
And I
city of
do.
Scott City. We have to obey the laws
Sir,
of Scott City.
I'm all for rule of law. I am all for rule of law, but
No,
I'm
you're
all for
not.
due process of law. And whenever you guys decide to take a flashlight and try to break my window and try to forcibly open my door over a tag, due process, you guys threw it out the window. They made that choice to throw due process out. And now there's a due process problem here.
And again,
I'm all for the rule of law. As long as due process is being followed, I'm all with it. I will 100% be right behind you.
right.
Always.
Right.
But whenever due process goes out the window, that scares me. And we all should be scared. I am literally scared for my life right now for this man
And I don't know why.
because he took his flashlight and beat my window, and I was being just as cordial as I am right now with you. And I'm like, oh my God, don't do this, sir. You're doing it to yourself.
You seem to have left out the part where you were refusing numerous lawful orders at the time. Typical Sovset making himself out to be the victim,
Correct.
as usual.
So anyway, we're you can argue this in court, or you can however you want to do it. That is
Am I under arrest?
right now.
Am I under
I
arrest?
think you're. He's just giving you a citation. That's it. So,
Am I being detained?
Well, you were pulled over. and
Am I
you
being
wanted-
detained though?
You wanted to see me, so you were waiting on me.
Okay, so now am I still detained?
He's going to give you your citation for your tags, and then
So I don't accept that kind of contracts. See, that's a contract.
yeah.
I don't
No.
accept it.
Okay.
Too bad.
So he just littered.
Court date on it. And then, and by all means, if you got any,
I got to follow. He just literally littered in my vehicle and my
okay,
property.
Well, he gave it to you. and-
Can he please take it back?
No,
he
he can't though,
cannot.
because literally littering isn't a criminal offence according to you, is it? Until, of course, it is, then all those morals and principles you have go out of the window. Funny how you don't see how hypocritical that is.
So anyway, you can argue the court, okay?
Mr. Rick, come here, please.
Not if you're going to give me that back. We can deal with this through the proper channels, okay? We'll do it.
Yeah, but it's gonna. This is not the proper channel down here. This is a court. This is a court of no record.
Okay, well that's entirely up to you, okay?
And that court has no power to fine nor imprison, but they do it anyway. See, that's what we're standing against.
That's your take on it, okay?
That's the definition by verbatim.
Again, that's
It's verbatim. It's an inferior.
No.
It's actually a court of no record is an inferior court without the power to fine or imprison.
deal. They've got stuff to do. I got stuff to do, and you've got a guy waiting on you to go to work, right?
That is correct.
Okay, all right. So you can
Thank you, Mr. Walters.
you have the same.
All right.
Well, sounds like you want to speed out of there.
So that, guys, was a masterclass in how to turn a warning for no plate into a complete circus, with him as the clown. I am a little disappointed that he didn't keep to his word about letting the cop break his window, but saying one thing and doing another is what these guys do best. Right, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave me a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. I definitely appreciate you. And with that, we're going to bring this to a close for this evening here on From Day One. Definitely thank both Van Melian and Father Skeptic for their time on this evening session. Till then, thank you for watching From Day One. Have a great evening. Again, help us get that total of the views so that we can get those presents from Boxy. We are extremely close. Till then, have a great day.